Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna, and we talk about guns. I really believe that the handgun is just the beginning for the defense, of course, and the handgun is a tool that we carry every day with us. And I believe that more than everybody, I mean, every one of us should be armed. Every law-abiding citizen should be armed. But more important, I believe, especially the weak. The weak and the women should be the people that first should understand the importance of this equalizer, as I call it, the handgun. So today's show we have a guest, a friend, and also a person I respect very much for his activism in sharing the values of our republic and also training other human beings, other Americans. And here we have Cope Reynolds. Cope, are you there?
Yes, I am. How are you doing today, Luca?
Very good, very good. Cope, all right. Where are you located right now? Are you somewhere in Mojave County? Are you at the school? Where are you right now?
Right now, I'm in Apache County. I'm over the other side of Sholo.
Okay, so you're there. Very good. And I know you're also in charge of managing the curriculum and the training of a facility in Mojave County. Can we just remind to the listener the name of the school?
Yes, sir. It's SHOTS Ranch, and we have Southwest Shooting Authority at SHOTS Ranch, and we have about 30-some different classes out there, 6 or 7 different handgun classes, rifle, shotgun, survival, preparedness, a little bit of everything, hunting classes.
Very good. And I already had you before, and I appreciate your expertise and your knowledge that we can share with the listeners. Now, today's topic is about women. The importance of women, in my opinion, that we really need to treasure everybody because we need everybody in defense to take our rights back and to defend this republic. Not just it's not going to be just the men roles, not just the macho guys. It's going to be also women, very important. We need them in every aspect of our life, especially for educating the next generation of American in the values that we believe. Now, when it comes down to handgun, many women, sometimes I know friends or little different people that I know, and especially ladies, they ask me, what gun should I start with? So I have you today, and we can share a little bit of a couple of ideas. So let's say I was a lady, and I come to you, to your school, and I'm pretty much, let's say, not prepared yet when it comes down to handgun. I don't have my handgun yet, and I ask you, what is the first handgun that I should buy to start to train and learn?
Well, the short answer to that you get from so many people is they're so simple and all that. But I'd like to spend a little more time with the ladies and let them know some things that I don't like about the revolver and let them make up their own mind. Mm-hmm. True enough, it's simple. It's basically almost foolproof. The problems with the revolver, 2 things. One is capacity, 5 or 6 shots in most of them. But the other thing is the very high axis of recoil, the axis of recoil being the distance between the center line of the bore and the top end. The hand acts as a full, so that your gun pivots around that point. To kind of illustrate that, if you would hold the handgun all the way at the very bottom of the grip with 2 fingers and pull the trigger, what's going to happen? It's going to come back and hit you in the face. Mm-hmm. It's going to bounce out of your hand. So the closer you are to the center of the bore, the easier it is to control. So with the revolver, you can only get within, on the average, 1.5 inches, some of them almost 2 inches. So there's a lot of leverage there fighting against you, plus the fact that you've only got 5 or 6 shots.
Yes.
So I like to explain that to people and show it to them, illustrate them so they can see it, and then try to direct them towards a manageable caliber in a easy-to-operate semi-automatic. Typically, I try to steer them towards a Glock. Mm-hmm. But with the semi-automatic comes also the responsibility of a wee bit more training than the revolver takes, because with a revolver, I have to remember that every time you pull the trigger, it's going to fire.
Little problem with the line. Let me just interact 1 second. Maybe the line is going to feel better in a few seconds. Yes, I understand. I agree with you. I think you're completely right. The revolver it's great probably as a side, for me, like a second handgun that maybe you can have around your kitchen or something like that. If I had to carry as a main gun, there are some limitation with the revolver. And I completely agree. First of all, the recoil could be a problem, especially for a woman. And more important, I also believe that the lack of really capacity, high capacity, like you would have in a regular average semi-auto. 5-6 rounds, probably they would say they would do the job, but you never know what you're gonna face, in a real situation. So let's talk about a little bit the Glock. Why you think the Glock would be a good compromise between for a semi-automatic that also have the simplicity of a revolver?
Well, I'm not sure that compromise is the correct term. I think it's the best of both worlds. It's both. I think it's both an expert's gun and a beginner's gun.
Mm-hmm.
It's exceedingly simple to operate.
Yes.
It's very maintenance forgiving. So if you just you drop one in a purse or you stick it in a inside the pants holster, you kind of ignore it, and after a while you neglect it and it gets lint and sand and sweat and lipstick and everything else on it, and the Glock will continue to run, as will most revolvers.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Glock, you have two things that I don't like most about revolvers for women. The Glock has a 7/16 of an inch axis of recoil. The distance from the top of your hand to the center line of the bore is just a little over a half an inch.
Mm-hmm.
So you have very little muzzle flip there. The other thing is, even if you have California magazines, you still have at least 10 round capacity. If you take my wife carries a Glock 26, and she's got 10 round capacity, 11 with one in the chamber, and almost twice or over twice of what your 5-shot 38 special revolvers have.
Exactly. I completely agree with that. And also, what I like of the Glock is the simplicity compared to other semi-auto. Because, for example, if you compare to some sort of like 1911, that you have an external safety, that you must be training with that, the Glock, it's the safety is your finger after all. And talking about that, because I know many women sometimes they like to carry their gun in their purse. And that's okay. If that's the way they want to train, that's fine. In my opinion, the safest places and the most the faster way to deliver your gun is from your side hip, from your holster. But something that I always try to, to friends or women that they carry the handgun in their purse, I always remind them, and correct me if I'm wrong, to always be sure that there is some sort of protection for the gun as safety, because the problem that we may have when you put your handgun in the holster, in your purse, first of all, you want to always point it in the right area, in a special compartment that is not somehow mixed with all the different little things that the women normally carry in their purse. And more important, you want to be sure that the trigger is completely safe, and by accident, there is no object that could pretty much activate the trigger.
All right, Luke, I completely agree with that. It's non-negotiable as far as I'm concerned that the gun must be in some kind of a holster that protects the trigger guard, particularly if you're going to carry it in a purse or a pocket. Anywhere you carry it, the trigger has to be protected. You never know what kind of a scuffle you might get in. You might be in a hurry. I mean, any number of things, keys, chapstick, hairbrushes, bobby pins, all that kind of stuff. Anything gets stuck in the trigger, in the barrel, it can cause problems. So it needs to be in a holster that fits the gun. One that also you can present the weapon out of the purse and return it with one hand.
Exactly. Because
without having to get in there and dig around with both hands. You may have to be on the phone to 911. You might be fighting somebody off. You might be holding a baby, opening a door, trying to get away. A number of things you might need that other hand for. So it needs to be one-handed operation, and to us, that's non-negotiable. You have to figure out a way to make that work for you.
Yeah, and also saying, of course, it would be nice if, because remember, your purse is not going to be on you everywhere you go. I mean, probably when you're around your kitchen or you're doing your little chores around the house, I don't think you do that with the purse. So I always say, if it's possible, if there is the will to truly learn and to truly be in the type of mindset that is like not just a part-time self-defense or be ready and aware, I said the safest place and the best way would be to have always the gun on you, on your right hand, in case if you're shooting with your right hand on your belt. That would be probably the best way for me.
That's the way I prefer for them to do it. My wife carries hers that way every day. But let's say you're going to a dinner party, you're going to church, you're going somewhere where you're wearing a skirt and you don't wear a belt. And with women, that's something we have to accept. I mean,
Yes.
they're not always going to wear jeans and a tactical belt,
That's true.
So my second best thing that I would like to see them do, if they can't do it on a belt, is to get a nice, fashionable little fanny pack so that it's still attached to them. It doesn't look bad. It's fast. And it's still a utility type vehicle where you can, carry your chapstick, your lipstick and your mirror and your brush and driver's license and all that stuff, and still have access to the weapon, and it'll be attached to you. I'm not a big fan of thigh holsters, cleavage holsters. You can take something like a very small pocket-sized .380, something like maybe the Ruger LCP or the Taurus TCP, and wear that basically inside the pants, although it would be inside the skirt, on a belly band underneath the skirt. But there again, if you're wearing, you've got a lady that likes to wear, reasonably tight, and look good and everything, then you're back to a fanny pack or a belt.
Yes, I like the idea of the fanny pack. I think it can be fashionable, and also you have more than just your handgun. You can also put your personal things that are also connected to emergency things, because sometimes we just think about the shooting part, but what if to have in the fanny pack also maybe a bandage or something you could be able
flashlight.
Flashlight, or maybe something that could be an extra set of batteries for your cell phone, or anything that normally we don't think in a normal situation, but in an emergency would be vital,
Absolutely.
Very good, very good. Now, I don't want to go into these, calibers, 9, 40, 45. We already know the story. What I really would like to do, it's bottom line, every caliber that the woman can handle and any of us can handle and hit the target. That's a good caliber, in my opinion, right now. But let's talk about something that I heard a few times when I go into these gun shops. The 22 long rifle caliber, There are right now, for example, I have a revolver, a Taurus. It's a 9 shooters. And you have this little 22 that I believe is more than just what people believe. Of course, I wouldn't use that as a main weapon for self-defense, but give us some information about the also potential benefits of a 22. What are the don't and the do? What are the pro and the don't?
Well, I'd rather see a woman carry a 22 than nothing at all. It's a little on the anemic side in actual shootings. It's about a 23, 25%, what they call a one-shot stopper, meaning the person was incapacitated with one shot. That's excluding headshots and extremity shot in the largest part of the body, in the torso, to make that person where they are incapable of continuing to hurt you. The 22 only does it about 25% of the time. So to me, yes, I'd rather you have a 22 than nothing. But the 22, the upsides of the 22 is a very a lack of recoil and noise. A lot of times higher capacity, especially in a revolver. It's not too hard to find a 7, maybe even an 8 or 9 shot revolver that would be the same size as a 5-shot 38. So there's a little bit of a plus there, but you're still down to that 25% one-shot stop capability, where you're looking at a plus P38. You're looking at 67%. With a 9mm, you're looking at 91%. So I'm not a fan, Luca. Now, for you and I, a little bit different, where we've trained differently, where we are actually as much of the weapon as the gun is. That's maybe a little bit different. We might have the capability and the mindset and being calm, cool, and collected enough to make headshots if we must. But the average woman that probably doesn't get quite as many hours of training and stuff as we do, the chances are she's going to mash that trigger and she's going to wind up shooting him in the belly, in the groin somewhere, and not stop him from continuing to do her harm.
Yeah, I understand. It's true. They always, as you said, they are right to have anybody at least with something than nothing, of course. And right. I thought, the 22, what I like about the 22, that let's say you're in the house and, of course, let's say a lady, normally not trained enough, and normally you don't wear all the time close to you, or you don't have close like a headset, because when you start to engage something, you're going to have a big problem with your ears, especially in the house with the closed environment.
Exactly.
What I like the 22 is forgiving even in that area. Is not going to completely shock you and incapacitate your ears, because even a 9mm inside the house without any type of headset would create some sort of a shock into the shooter, in the person.
Absolutely.
Right. So that's a little bit of thinking there. Did you ever shot the Kel-Tec PMR 30 22 Magnum? It's a new type of, not really new, it's probably a few years old already, but it's like a semi-auto, very futuristic plastics type of gun that it shoots like its chamber in 22 Magnum. Did you ever shot that?
Yes, I have, and actually, it's a very old design. It was fashioned after the Grendel.
Yes,
and the Grendel was a failure back years ago.
You're right.
And the PMs or Kel-Tec picked it up and changed a few things and made it a little better. But the thing about the 22 Magnum is that gun's a little big for concealed carry. If they have it in the house, I guess that's one thing. But the 22 Magnum is so terribly loud in a handgun, especially in confined quarters, that it's I think that it's probably louder than a 9mm actually.
Well, interesting. Yeah, I shot 22 Magnum. I never shot a Kel-Tec, and I agree with you, it's very loud. And honestly, at that point, why don't you go straight with 9, okay? Because another problem I have with 22 Magnum right now, it's already hard to find 22 long rifle. And I'm having even harder time to find 22 Magnum at the regular.
It's tough.
It's tough. So that's the problem. I wanted to buy one. Unfortunately, when was presented to me, the gun was the moment that we had very hard time to find 22 Magnum, 22 also rifle. I already stock up on 22 long rifle ammunition, and I don't want to start to open another can of worms with another caliber, so I stick with the regular center fires or the 22 long rifle for when it comes down to 22. So very good. And listen, at this point, I really think it's important because, the information we are sharing here, it is to try to educate as many people as possible, especially in this type of opportunity I'm having with the show, women. I believe, for example, let's say you're a couple, okay? You're a man and you're the husband and there is the lady. You go in a situation like that, your life is in danger. Let's say you go in an open place and there are bad people. Normally, what do? They come after you. Normally, they try to put down the strong element, and then they think they can prey on the woman. That's why I believe so much that it is not just the man's role to defend the family. It's also the woman's role, because probably the man needs help, needs backup. That's why I believe that, especially when you go out and you carry, would be very great, important if your companion, your lady, she's trained and she knows also how to carry her gun. Otherwise, it's going to be all the focus, all the effort. It's going to be also the different type of danger is going to be just on you, and they think that she's just the final prey after they knock you down.
Absolutely. Well, what happens when you go to a restaurant? What do you hear? And I've asked this question probably over 200 times in classes. What was the lady say when she gets up and goes to the bathroom? Mm-hmm. Almost 100% of the time, she says, "Watch my purse. I'll be right back."
Yeah.
So that kind of takes away from the romance of having it in the purse there. But if we look at, so she goes to the bathroom, she takes her purse, she has her weapon with her. She can't expect her husband. They're not attached at the hip.
Yeah.
They can't expect the husband to be there all the time. The other thing is, if we look at, you and I believe that this country at some point is going to start falling apart.
It's already.
But it started falling apart for a long time. Yeah, it's gonna come apart at the seams here before long. So when that happens, yes, there will be a few of what people like to call warrior women that will go out and fight with the men. Call me what you will, I'm not a real big fan of that. I would rather the women take care of the youth and the elderly. I mean, they can fight, yeah, but I don't know that they need to be out with the men. So let's say that if that happens and the woman is back in the rear, back at camp, back at home, back wherever, she still needs to have that ability to fight.
Exactly. I mean, the point is,
just because, oh, honey, be careful, come back, I'll have dinner ready at 5:00. That's not going to be happening.
No, and on top,
when and if I make it back,
yeah,
I want you need to take care of yourself. I need to know that you're safe. I need to know that my kids are safe. I need to know that Grandpa's safe, and the woman may be required to do that.
I completely agree. And on top, another important thing, I believe, because let's not forget the role of women, the mothers are the first education opportunity for the new generation. I mean, yes, of course, dad normally is the guy that is going to bring the kids to the range. But I think it's very important also the mothers have an active role in this sharing this tradition, sharing the values. Doesn't need it to be maybe the main technical advisor or educator, but the values of our republic, of our foundation as a republic, as American. I believe that the Americans women, they have a very important role to share this heritage. That's why I think to be also able to exercise, in this case, the Second Amendment, and going with the family together, sharing this time, this family time, this quality time with the father, the mother, the children, all together, I think this is something that's going to stay imprinted in the memories of the new generation of American people forever. I mean, think about it. It's not going to be just, okay, dad does the shooting, mom does the cooking. No, this is part of our heritage as a family. We share it, and we want you, new generation of Americans, to learn and to give it to the next after you, So that's what I believe.
I agree.
So good. Lisa, any news from the SHOTS Ranch? What's going on next week?
I don't think next week, I don't believe we have anything going on. You can go, we're in the middle right now. We're making a lot of changes, Luca. We got a lot of stuff going on with the website, and we're doing some improvements on the range, and we're trying to cram a whole lot of things in a short period of time. Well, we do have some defensive handgun classes coming up. We've got a hunting rifle class coming up the middle of August.
Okay.
And that's going to be a great class. It's going to be a lot of fun. No defensive talk at all. It's strictly about humane and ethical taking of various small and large game animals, and shooting at close range, long range, out to 500 yards, and making sure that you can make that good, quick, humane, proper kill on an animal.
Perfect. And if somebody wants to reach you, what is the website in case somebody wants to reach you to see more about, learn more about the classes?
It's at shotsranch.com, www.shotsranch.com. And right now you're going to see the old website. The new one should be coming up here in 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
And it's going to be greatly improved, and you should be able to sign up for classes and stuff right there on the website. And it's going to be a vast improvement over what we have now.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Cope. I appreciate your help and all your effort and activism to share our values and our Second Amendment among all the population.
He's a songwriter, a poet, a rifleman.
I'm not afraid.
And a constitutional activist.
I'm not afraid.
Italian by birth.
I'm not afraid.
American by choice. Luca Zanna.
I'm not afraid.
And his new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom. 16 powerful songs on one CD from the heart of a patriot. For download or to order the CD, go to www.lovegunsfreedom.com. That's www.lovegunsfreedom.com. Lyrics for your mind, music for your heart. Luca Zanna's new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom.
GMN is killing communism, one show at a time.
Aloha, this is Tahiti Joe, the maker of Tahiti Joe's Hot Sauces and the Maui Pepper Company.
After inventing his delicious Polynesian hot sauce, Tahiti Joe wanted to make another gourmet hot sauce that his lady would enjoy.
After a wild, passionate weekend on the islands, he thought, wow, she's not only hot-blooded, she's also half Italian.
With that in mind, Tahiti Joe created a tropical-style garlic hot sauce his lady would crave.
Now, Tahiti Joe's Tropic Garlic Hot Sauce has become the #1 garlic hot sauce on the market.
Tahiti Joe and his sisters dedicated Tropic Garlic to their father because he's their big kahuna and it's his favorite.
All of our sauces are made with a beautiful array of ingredients with no preservatives added and are prepared with a tropical passion for that perfect balance of flavor and heat delivered directly to you.
www.TahitiJoesHotSauces.com.
Visit WazooSurvivalGear.com, home of the Adventure Bracelet and other wearable survival kits today. For survival bracelets with all of the features you need for everyday challenges, with options for construction materials, individualization, and a wide range of utility features like fishhook, safety pin, whistle, cable ties, fire steel and striker blade, compass, and more. Meant to be disguised in your everyday life and ready whenever you need it. Don't forget to upgrade your Adventure Bracelet to include surgical tubing, first aid tinder fat packs, and a handcuff key. WazooSurvivalGear.com, survival bracelets, survival keychains, do-it-yourself kits, and more. Plus, if you donate $100 or more to the Guerrilla Media Network, we will send you one of Wazoo's wearable survival kits with a custom GMN nameplate as a reminder of our appreciation.
In a disaster, emergency relief, or constitutional crisis such as the ongoing battle at the Bundy Ranch, people want to pitch in, but not everyone can pack up and leave home. I'm Pete Santilli, and I can tell you firsthand from being on the ground at the Bundy Ranch that the standoff with the BLM was a victory, but the most critical phase we're in now is to hold the sacred freedoms we've seized back from a tyrannical federal government. People from all over the country are continuing to pour into the Bundy Ranch, and when they made their list of items needed to sustain their freedom, their priorities should have been as follows: food, water, and if necessary to defend their liberty, ammo. But let's face it, no matter how many people stand in defense of their God-given rights, no matter how many citizens stand in defense of our peaceful protesters, and no matter how much we can achieve together by defeating tyranny, we have to hold our ground and sustain our patriots with the necessities of life. That's why I've teamed up with Steve Shank's My Farm in a Box. Visit GuerrillaMediaNetwork.com/food to keep the food supply lines of liberty flowing to the patriots on the ground.
The Bill of Rights contains the first 10 amendments of our Constitution. They guarantee the specific freedoms Americans should know and protect. Our liberty depends on it. I'm Dr. Catherine Albrecht, and I'll be right back with an unforgettable way to remember one of your constitutional rights.
Your search engine is watching you, recording all your searches and creating a massive database of your personal information. That's creepy, but it doesn't have to be that way. StartPage.com is the world's most private search engine. StartPage doesn't store your IP address, make a record of your searches, or use tracking cookies, and they're third-party certified. If you don't like Big Brother spying on you, start over with StartPage. Great search results and total privacy. StartPage.com, the world's most private search engine.
Imagine your mom and dad are getting ready for bed. They pull back the covers and find a third party there. He announces, "I'm with the military and I'm sleeping here tonight." That shocking image of a third party in my parents' bed reminds me what the Third Amendment was designed to prevent. It protects us from being forced to share our homes with soldiers, a common demand in the days of our founding fathers. Third party, Third Amendment, get it? So if you answer a knock at your door and guys in fatigues demand lodging, tell them to dust off their copy of the Bill of Rights and reread the Third Amendment. I'm Dr. Catherine Albrecht. More news and information at CatherineAlbrecht.com.
Infidel Body Armor, made in the USA, an Oath Keeper and disabled veteran-owned business in Texas, selling to U.S. patriots concerned about any type of ballistic threats when it hits the fan, not just law enforcement and military. The engineers at Infidel have designed lightweight, wearable, and durable body armor with life-saving reliability, made with military-grade steel and capable of withstanding hit after hit from high-velocity, large-caliber rounds. From rapid deployment systems to tailored models, Infidel Body Armor has all the right gear, especially suited for any grid-down situation. Infidel Body Armor sold at a fraction of the typical cost for police and military gear, which is designed to be replaced after ballistic impact. Remember, in the middle of societal collapse, replacement ceramic and Kevlar will not be easily found. Infidel's Armor Combo with plate carrier, front and back plate start at $375. Visit GuerrillaMediaNetwork.com/infidel to check out Infidel's Body Armor and make sure you let them know you heard about them on the Guerrilla Media Network.
Nobel Prize winner Alexis Carrel, cell biology researcher, discovered a detoxified and nourished cell lives in a state of eternal youth. Clean cells will result in improved energy, mood, blood sugar, liver function, and skin health. Also, you can lose fat and keep or gain muscle and reduce or eliminate inflammation and more. To discover how to detoxify and nourish the 100 trillion cells of your body, call this free recorded message at 866-844-1047. That's 866-844-1047.
Here we are, hour number 2 of Love, Guns, and Freedom. And this is the hour for guns. Here we go. This hour, we already talked with Cope Reynolds about handguns. What is the best handgun? What we think is the best handgun or more suitable handgun for women. Now we go to a tool that for me it's for everybody. First of all, it is something like a must. Every homeowner should have at least one. It's called the shotgun. There are pro and don't in everything. Nothing is completely 100% suitable for every situation, but I believe the shotgun, it's a great compromise. Because first of all, the shotgun, it's a tool that, there is a proverb, with your handgun, you can defend your person. Shotgun, you defend your castle. It's true. Shotgun, it's a great defensive weapon in my opinion, but also can be offensive too. What I like about the shotgun, first of all, it's available everywhere. There are not really restrictions, even in states or countries where there are gun laws with gun restrictions, gun control. Shotgun is still the last thing almost that is available even for peasants or for slaves. Why? Because government always believed that shotgun is a tool that pretty much limits the range of the capacity of this type of weapon. And it's true. I mean, this is not a rifle, okay? So when I say, what type of rifle do you have? Oh, I have that Sega. No, that's a shotgun. Shotgun means that your barrel, most of the time, is completely smooth. So the difference between a rifle and a shotgun is that you don't have the type of accuracy with a shotgun that you would have with a rifle when you have a rifle barrel. So the limitation, of course, that we have with a shotgun is the distance, first of all. Yes, you can increase, depends on what type of ammunition you're using with a shotgun. You can pretty much have a very big flexibility. So let's not forget, you can put, of course, a slug in a shotgun. You can be very, very dangerous, at least till 80, 100 yards. Let's say 100 yards, 90 yards. Problem is after 100 yards, your accuracy is pretty much gone. Now let's start to see exactly why I think you should have a shotgun, at least one. First of all, shotgun, it's, as I said, available everywhere. You can buy a shotgun almost everywhere. They are affordable. There are many shotguns, many types of shotguns. The point is, now, today, in this show, I will talk about a specific shotgun, is the Mossberg 590. The Mossberg 590, it's pretty much one of the most, my opinion, common shotgun out there, at least in the American market. There is a Remington, of course, 870. It's another great shotgun. But what I like so much the Mossberg 590, especially if you can get the 590 A1, that is the military standard with the military specs, because it's a shotgun that's been tested by our Marines. It's a shotgun that's seen battlefields. A shotgun that is simple but reliable. For example, the Mossberg 590 that I have right now in front of me, it's something I bought at Big Five for about probably $300 and change. It's cheaper than a handgun, and I have a lot of opportunity with this because, first of all, I have a variety of ammunition I can chamber this. I'm talking about, of course, 12 gauge, and I would like to stick with this gauge. You can also get shotguns, of course, on minor gauges like the 20 gauges. But for defensive, I think and I believe, and also according to many experts, the 12 gauge is the standard. So, first thing we have the price. $300 and change, you can buy a weapon that is reliable, and you can, with this shotgun, take care of your business when it comes down to, first of all, survival. Let's say you must go and hunt animals. You can hunt almost anything, from small birds, quails, and rabbits, games, whatever. And you can use, of course, the bird shots for that. And then if you need to instead just go for big games, I'm talking about, deers or whatever, and I'm not a hunter, okay? Normally I do not hunt. I never hunt for sport. If I have to hunt, it's only for survival. But this is me. Don't worry about yourself. You do what you think is right for you. So, but anyway, I can put slugs or I can put back shots. I can knock down bears if I have to with a shotgun. So right there we have incredible survival capabilities for this tool, the shotgun. Then let's not forget, of course, self-defense aspect. If you are in a home and you live in an environment that you need to be worried about also next door, maybe in an apartment or even just in a house that you have neighborhoods, guess what? You can load up the shotgun with bird shots or number 7 or number 8, and you can have in this way an incredible opportunity to pretty much be lethal, but also be safe. Because when you shoot through somebody or at somebody, you might think that there is a penetration. You must think also that you may miss that bad person, the criminal, invading your home. And what if you miss? If you shoot, for example, with a pistol, even 9mm, the slug, it can go through drywalls and keep going through studs. Bird shots, people sometimes underestimate. Because bird shot, it is not just for birds. At close distance, it's an ounce of lead that is going to go through and stop you. Of course, it would be nice if you have always back shots on at least number 4. So, but the point that you have a lot of flexibility with the shotgun. And also the recoil, Many women, let's say smaller sized men, may have little problem initially with the recoil with the shotgun. That's true. But technique, that's what really helps. And also choosing the right type of ammunition. First of all, the ammunition with lower recoil. And also don't forget that you can use, as I said, even for defensive situations, type of rounds like number 7, number 8, like bird shots. The number 6 and enough, for example, they're normally used for rabbits, things like that. At close distance, they're very lethal. So right there, I think, could be a very incredible, affordable tool for many situations. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Mossberg 590. First of all, this one that I have right now, it's coming with a heat shield. I think it's nice. And also it's important, if you start to shoot more than a few rounds, you want to be sure that your hand doesn't get burned by the barrel. So looking great and also useful. Then I have incredible capacity of rounds. This one is a standard 590, 20 inches barrel, and I have 8 plus 1, 9 rounds of 12 gauge. Not bad. I suggest always to have a saddle holster for your extra ammunition, so you can always have a shotgun loaded and on top with the extra ammunition. Now, many people like to say, I can shoot with a shotgun in that area and I'm not going to miss it. That's not true. You still must aim. Don't think because it's a shotgun it's going to just go everywhere. You don't want that on top. Of course, the shotgun has a pattern. You should know the patterning of your ammunition. From 0 to 5 yards, probably wherever you shoot, you hit. Over 15, 20 yards, you will see that the pattern of your ammunition start to expand. especially with burst shots and back shots. So it's important that you start to know your shotgun and your ammunition. Every ammunition of different brands opens in a different way. Now, something you gotta test. I would suggest you to try to stock up on ammunition, especially when you go to back shots, that they are from the same brand. So at least you know exactly at what distance, what type of opening of the pattern you have. This is pretty important. Now, shotgun doesn't mean that you have a shotgun, you have it loaded, and it sits there close to your bed and you're ready to go. It really takes some training. It takes training if it is a semi-automatic, but for sure even more, in my opinion, if it's a pump action. Why? Because you really must work the pump. And it's some sort of a movement that really takes some synchronization to do it right, to do it in a speedy way, in an accurate way. That means also you can pump the action and also be accurate. As I said, the shotgun is not just aiming somewhere, just shooting in that area. You must still use your front sight. Of course, from 0 to 10 yards, I would say for defensive, immediate, reactive situation, point shooting would do it. But let's say you have some, God forbid, you have some sort of a situation like a hostage rescue. Well, you must know your shotgun very well. You must really work with the front sight. So this is important. Training, it's vital, in my opinion. But once you train with a shotgun, especially, you are able to do effective and fast ammunition swap. Okay, you can swap from bird shots or back shots to, let's say, slugs. Man, you have an incredible variety of opportunities there. First of all, let's not forget, shotgun, you have no more problem with the lack of penetration. I tested myself, my Mossberg, on a car. It went through doors and the other door. It went through the engine block. With the right slug, my gosh, you can do incredible things with shotguns. And of course, what I like also, as I said, it is a tool that you can buy almost everywhere. Now, talking about the Shotgun 590, I really like the Mossberg for many reasons. As I said, first of all, it is something that is being used, and it's used by our military police, Marines. It won some contracts with the Marines, U.S. Marines. What I like also is, the capacity. You have 20 inches barrel, and you can have 8+1 rounds. Another important thing I like, of course, is super strong, super reliable. If you are able to get a 590A1, okay, that is the one completely military specs. There is no plastic. It's all steel. Even the safety and even the trigger guard, it's all steel and metal. It's amazing. I would suggest you that. You spend a couple extra dollars and you have something that's going to last you a lifetime. So, number one, you have to start to think about how to prepare this shotgun. I like to have a shotgun, first of all, always with a saddle ammunition holder that you can have at least 5 or 6 rounds, always on the shotgun. Now, you hear stories like, you hear the click of the shotgun, you make him hear the click, and the bad guy is gonna run. That's a stupid idea. Why? Let's do an experiment. Look, okay, it's dark night, and I do this. Why I'm so stupid to give my position away, and somebody can shoot me in just listening to my noise? I am not here to try to impress anybody. The moment that I decided that my life is in danger, and I'm really fearing for my life, if somebody breaking into my home, you check your state laws. But according to my Arizona laws and my God's laws, I have the right of self-defense. So the last thing I want is to create a disadvantage for me, to give my position away, to do a strange little click noise. The only noise they must hear, the bad guy, is going to be the bang. And hopefully I don't have to go there. But for sure I'm not going to give my position away. So I suggest you, this is my opinion of course, what I do, not even suggest, you do what you want. What I like to do with my shotguns It's in a safe place, but accessible place. Safety on, always safety on, but I keep my round in the chamber. Because at that point, if I have to use it, I do not need to do that big production of advertisement or click, click. No, it's going to be just a little safety goes off and boom. So that's one myth that, in my opinion, people I hear many times, especially in gun shows or gun shops or just over the internet, they click, oh, you're going to hear the noise of the shotgun. I don't want to hear the noise of the shotgun. So one thing I would like to talk about. But train. I had really the opportunity to do incredible classes. I did more than once at front sight. I like the standard. I like the training. I like the different scenario that they have, And you realize that the shotgun with the back shots you have from 0, let's say 10 yards to 25, 30 yards, you have a great power there. Think about it. You are in your home, you are probably in your bedroom, somebody's trying to break down the door of your bedroom, or maybe you are behind the couch and somebody's trying to break into the house, the main door. You have a great position of defense there. You have a great tool that devastating power. I mean, you put backshots there, or you put even a slug if you are in an environment like you don't need to worry about your neighbors. I mean, you can stop a bulldozer, okay? So that would be the situation. But as I said, at the end of the day, the gun is just an extension of your will to survive and to be free. It's just a tool. There are tools for every occasion. So a little bit about the shotgun. And I would like also, of course, to let you know that you should always have extra ammunition. Because to have a shotgun and then have a couple hundred rounds, if it really becomes a situation of survival and emergency, and also this sort of a situation where ammunition, they're drying up, you must start to think now, for every gun you have, you must have at least a certain amount of ammunition. So for a shotgun, what I would suggest you, first of all, start with the burst shots. Do not underestimate the burst shots. They are great for survival, and they're great also for self-defense in a limited, contained environment. So number 6, number 7 and enough, even number 8, as many as you can afford. They used to be kind of affordable. You used to buy a box of 250 rounds for a very affordable price, but try to load it up. Walmart still has them, so as many as you can. I would suggest if you have you can have at least you should have 1,000 round for bird shots to just stash away. And also practice, because when you're going to practice, you can do dry practice, great way with a shotgun. You can buy some snap caps. I think something you should do, definitely. Save the ammo. You can do all the different type of malfunctions, also different type of load, emergency reload and tactical reload and everything else. But also you need to practice for the cycling of the pump. And then, of course, after you have at least 1,000 round of burst shots, you should have at least as many as you can afford of back shots. Try to keep it simple. Try to keep the same brand if you can. At least you know the path, the pattern, how they open. At least if you can, at least 500 rounds. You're not going to do blast this at the range, but remember, when things going to get rough, every round of this could be better than cash, okay? That's the point. Think about one round of ammunition when there is an emergency. It's priceless. Can save your life. So that's the story. Now, slugs. Let's not underestimate the slugs. Yes, regular lead slugs. They're a great brand out there. Winchester, you can find, do your own test. Then there used to be something that was amazing. They're like something almost very hard to find now. They're like steel slugs. They are supposedly for hunting, but I'm telling you, they're amazing. I will do some video testing pretty soon. I'll post them on lovegunsfreedom.com. And it is beautiful because you have a beautiful piece of steel that is not even just lead, and it's powerful and more accurate. They have some sort of spinning fins and things like that. You can be pretty accurate even till 100 yards. Now, this is pretty much about a shotgun. Don't forget, as I said, to also put a little light. If you have a shotgun, especially if you use it for defense in the home, most of the situation is going to be normally, unfortunately, during the night. So I suggest you to get a rail or some sort of addition that you can add a little light. Remember, there is recoil, so you don't want to have a cheap light. You want to have a very shock-resisting light. LED would be better, okay? So a light would be important. A sling. Slings normally in closed environment, you must be careful because you must be trained to use them. Can be also, work against you. I believe a sling is always important. Because let's say you have to carry a child. Let's say you have to go transition from your shotgun to your handgun. The sling, or you have to open a door or something, you need both ends. I think a sling is very, very important. So this, I think, is something that I would do. Basic things, put a sling and put a rail for a little light that would help you out. What else? As I said, also, don't forget the opportunity to add this saddle that you can hold extra ammunition. You can have at least this saddle, you can have 3 and 6 rounds, an extra 6 rounds on you. It's very important. I also will get, always close to your shotgun, a bandolier at least, a bandolier with at least 25 rounds that you can, if you have an emergency, all you gotta get is grab your shotgun, you have already there 8 plus 1 rounds, then you have this extra 6 rounds on the saddle, side saddle, and then you have this extra bandolier with 25 rounds at least. So you can face pretty much any emergency and wait for reinforcement. That's very important. Now, when you have a shotgun in the house, don't forget, this is not a 22, okay? It's blasting. It's huge noise. So don't be unprepared. Don't think that you're going to defend your life without the opportunity, if you have the opportunity, if you have the time to put some sort of ear protection, you should do it. Otherwise, after the first round, you're going to be pretty much under shock, in shock, and incapacitated. And so I really believe you should have an opportunity to always have close to your shotgun, especially if you use it indoor in your home, to always have your amplified headset. That's a tool for me as important as a weapon, to have an amplified headset that gives you the opportunity to listen to sounds and noises, even in a better way. And also in case you have to surprise the bad person, the criminal, inside your home, you have the advantage. You can not only take care of business with a shotgun, but just the noise itself is going to be in a very much disadvantage because not most of the scumbags do not wear headset. So that pretty much was it. You've been listening to the second hour about guns, and we talk about the shotgun. Specifically, it was the shotgun 590 Mossberg 590. Incredible American shotgun, affordable and great for self-defense and also to defend your survival, your life. So don't go away. Be ready for the third hour, and you're going to listen right now to Love, Guns, and Freedom, all about love. This is Luca Zanna. And stay tuned. Don't go away.
He's a songwriter, a poet, a rifleman.
I'm not afraid.
And a constitutional activist.
I'm not afraid.
Italian by birth.
I'm not afraid.
American by choice. Gianluca Zanna.
I'm not afraid.
And his new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom. 16 powerful songs on one CD from the heart of a patriot. For download or to order the CD, go to www.lovegunsfreedom.com. That's www.lovegunsfreedom.com. Lyrics for your mind, music for your heart. Gianluca Zanna's new CD.
RadiationDefender.com. Your source for the Health Ranger's most important product to date, Cesium Eliminator. Developed by food science researcher Mike Adams, this patent-pending proprietary formula of zeolites and other ingredients called Cesium Eliminator helps support your body's natural elimination of lethal cesium isotopes. Visit RadiationDefender.com and discover why Cesium Eliminator is designed to stop irradiating your body from the inside out by removing Cesium-137, a cancer-causing radioactive isotope which will contaminate our soil for the next 200 to 300 years. After Fukushima, Beer Potion potassium iodide salesmen rode the plume and sold products which do absolutely nothing to rid the body of harmful radiation after this nuclear disaster. If you are interested in removing cesium from your body, throw away your potassium iodide and replace it immediately with Cesium Eliminator. Go to RadiationDefender.com and order your supply today.
Hello, this is Steve Shank. Why do police go undercover and why do countries send out spies? Simple. If you can guess from intelligence what the other guy is doing, you have the battle won before it starts. Let's see what intelligence we have about your food situation. We're having the worst disasters ever. Storms, earthquakes, floods, and terrible drought. Half our population needs food stamps and other subsidies to afford their food now. Prices have just hit their all-time high, with more terrible cost coming. Your food and now your water are being sold to other starving countries. Still, 1/3 of our corn goes to expensive gas instead of feeding livestock and people. What few dollars you have, China expects to devalue to uselessness. If you explained this food disaster we're in right now to your best friend, what would you expect them to do? You'd want them to get all the food they can while they still can.
Make the most intelligent decision of your life. Visit GorillaMediaNetwork.com/food to learn more about My Farm in a Box.
Aloha, this is Tahiti Joe, the maker of Tahiti Joe's Hot Sauces and the Maui Pepper Company.
The saga of Tahiti Joe's hot sauces is a very tasty story. Tahiti Joe went exploring the South Seas for the spices and was easily sidetracked, but don't tell his lady.
Then, after a few months, Tahiti Joe blended a beautiful array of spices with clam juice and honey.
It had a sweet tropical flavor, and with the heat of the peppers, it reminded him of the islands.
Tahiti Joe had to name the new sauce, and Tahiti Joe's Hot Sauces was born. Try it as a chicken wing sauce.
Barbecue, marinade,
or use it to create a delicious Polynesian Mary.
So, visit www.TahitiJoesHotSauces.com today to satisfy your cravings for
tropical taste sensation.
www.TahitiJoesHotSauces.com.
A double-blind study showed that individuals with abdominal obesity who took 300 milligrams of this one supplement for 8 weeks had a significant reduction in abdominal body fat and body weight. Those who took the supplement lost 5 times the amount from their waistline compared to those who took a placebo. Find out what supplement it is and the best source of it by calling and listening to this free recorded message at 866-844-1047. That's 866-844-1047. 866-844-1047.
If you enjoy the outdoor life or are preparing for any type of emergency, then you will need the world-renowned Kelly Kettle. The Kelly Kettle is an outdoor camp stove and kettle used to boil water ultra-fast. The Kelly Kettle is the original water boiling kettle that works ultra-fast using only sticks and twigs or whatever else you find that will burn. Don't waste your precious resources on heavy batteries and fuels. For over 100 years, this unique kettle has made boiling water in the outdoors quick and easy, even in the most extreme weather conditions. Whether you are cooking or boiling, you will appreciate the compact, lightweight design, super reliability, and a rugged durability that will last a lifetime. If your life depended on the features of an outdoor pro at a casual camper price, you would go to www.kellykettleusa.com. Enter Pete10 for 10% off whichever Kelly Kettle size fits you or your family best.
The Bill of Rights contains the first 10 amendments of our Constitution. They guarantee the specific freedoms Americans should know and protect. Our liberty depends on it. I'm Dr. Catherine Albrecht, and I'll be right back with an unforgettable way to remember one of your constitutional rights.
Your search engine is watching you, recording all your searches and creating a massive database of your personal information. That's creepy, but it doesn't have to be that way. Startpage.com is the world's most private search engine. Startpage doesn't store your IP address, make a record of your searches, or use tracking cookies, and they're third-party certified. If you don't like Big Brother spying on you, start over with Startpage. Great search results and total privacy. Startpage.com, the world's most private search engine.
Imagine 4 eyes staring at you through binoculars, a magnifying glass, or a pair of X-ray goggles. That imagery reminds me that the Fourth Amendment guarantees Americans freedom from unreasonable search and seizure. Fourth Amendment, 4 eyes staring at you, get it? Unfortunately, the government is trampling our Fourth Amendment rights in the name of security. Case in point, TSA airport scanners that peer under your clothing. When government employees demand a peep at your privates without probable cause, I say it's time to sound the constitutional alarm bells. Join me in asking our representatives to dust off the Bill of Rights and use their googly eyes to take a gander at the Fourth. I'm Dr. Catherine Albrecht. More news and information at catherinealbrecht.com.
GMN is the alternative to alternative media.